Yo, what up, my man?
I'm you live from the Godfather West Coast Hip Hop. We are right here at the Vision live, so like we do every Tuesday, y'all. From the West Coast to the East Coast, and everything with you on live with the Godfather and the Dusty. What's up, Dusty?
What up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Just sitting there playing with my new toys, trying to get this shit together. I apologize for being late, folks. We had a little technical difficulties. We have them every time I upgrade the system or they change something on this doggone program. I have a technical difficulty, but it's coming together.
It happens, my man. Well, let's get to where we started, man. How did that interview with Violet Brown go?
Man, that was a dope interview, Doc. Violet dropped a lot of games. She dropped a lot of history, and it's just it's good. I'm glad I'm in the position to help get my friends get some exposure. I know people talk about Violet all the time. Most of the time, they don't get to talk to her on a one-on-one, up-close, personal basis. And I'm glad to be in that position.
Yeah, she's definitely a pioneer, man. And we kind of talked about it, but it must have been so hard for a white lady to maneuver in this hip hop game.
All right, you just disappeared on me. I don't hear you anymore.
You can't hear me?
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying it must have been hard for a white lady to maneuver in this game.
Well, you know what? Violet ain't your average white lady, man. I mean, she's a DJ. She worked in the hood all her life. Once that music gets in your system, man, you ought to be damn near get the melody and shit.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I encourage everybody out there to definitely check it out and let us know what you think. We have some dope interviews on this channel. I'm telling you guys, Lonzo is coming with the gold. You're missing out if you're not notified. Make sure you hit that notification button so you can get notified whenever we drop new content. But let's jump right into it, man.
Go for it.
As always, a lot to talk about. I want to chat because we haven't talked about this in about a month or so, probably over a month, but the gang violence is on the rise. Violence is going crazy right now. More kids have been shot in Chicago than have died from COVID-19 across the U.S. this year, according to statistics.
I read that the other day. Dude, it's just amazing, man, that the only way we can resolve our issues in 2021 is to shooting somebody. And I'm about to get in trouble. I'm about to get in trouble when I say this right here. You know, when you look at television and listen to the music, man, I'm sorry, dude. This shit's been weaponized, something terrible. And it just makes it real hard. People adapt. People will adapt to what they hear and see, and it will become a way of life. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm a perfect example of what I did when I was young. When I saw Superfly and all the pimp movies, I wanted to be just like them, and I did it. I mean, I did that. I'm a first generation experiment, but even then, I had my dad and some other cats who kept kicking me in the ass, kept me on the straight and narrow. They don't have that no more. I mean, ain't nobody teaching cats how to fight, dude. You got guys out here, born to single mothers, no disrespect to the single mothers whatsoever. But, my baby, and you've been defending this cat all his life, and the first time he gets into a hassle, somebody pick a gun in his hand, it becomes a good idea to shoot somebody. Now you a court crying, or you might be the one crying at the coffin. Dude, it's getting old. It's really old, dude. And I tell you what, more old than that, I'm finna sound old as shit now. What's really older than that, man? Some of this degrading ass music. I played the club Saturday night, and the crowd just shifted on me, man. I had an older crowd come in about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and a few youngsters came in about 11:15. By 11:30, all the grown folks was gone. It was just me and the youngsters, and my boys trapped me his so-called club banger file. And listen to this stuff, man. Track after track after track after track. Mm-hmm. If it ain't killing somebody or shaking the ass, dude. And the cold part about it, people know every word. I mean, dude, yeah. And then you try to dance to it. And I'm watching people, they're not really dancing. They just kind of just going back and forth. Ain't no dance that you can say, oh, doing whatever the case may be. It ain't that kind of party, man. It just, for an old school player, for me, to be a DJ is like being a chef. Ain't nobody eating your food. You know, you in the restaurant, you cooking, but you bring out your tray, and nobody want to eat what you eating. And even then the people say, "Hey man, give me a bowl of this, give me this right here, sunny side up, whatever the case may be." And you bring out some stuff you wouldn't feed, you wouldn't feed nobody. They ate it with like nobody's business, and it's hard to understand, man. It's really hard to understand, especially when you see it in an immediate basis. I mean, at 10:30, the club was rocking with the old school. I mean, because the old school got a whole new vibe, a whole different vibe. And by 11:30, it was down to fucking the nigga, shoot a nigga in the head. And it was like the whole vibe of the club changed, and the floor only had maybe 5 on there. But I ain't gonna take up the whole show talking about the degradation of our music.
Yeah, but it does have a lot to do with it, man. I really feel like we see it in the street that the more violent the music, the more violent the streets get. And right now the music is so violent. You're probably not as in tune to the younger cats as I am, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Lonzo, and I talk about it on the show all the time, they're doing things that I would have never thought in my wildest mind that someone would do. Taking, recording music videos at a dead ops, grave site, and, just standing on top of dead people's graves and like, what are you doing?
It's not even about, I keep saying it's not about the music, not about the beauty of the video, is how disrespectful and how much attention can you get in your act of disrespect. If you can show somebody some kind of disrespect and go viral, 2,000 hits, we know what it's about, man. It's the more hits you get, the more money you got action at. So if you can go 69 on somebody and just do some super disrespectful stuff and have the world talking about you for 2 days, you're gonna pick up some money, man. That's
it. Remember that guy who implanted the gold in his head? Yeah. We heard from him since, dude.
No, that nigga got a headache. That's a headache. And even homeboy that put the diamond in his forehead had to pull it out. There was somebody trying to take it from him. But he had to take it out because it was bleeding.
Yeah.
All these antics, man, it's just antics that they do to get attention. And as long as it's like kids, as long as the kids crying, mama gonna pay attention. Once the kids stop crying, mama ain't paying no attention no more, and it's crying like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, shit, to kind of keep it on the same topic, I would love your opinion on the second part of this, actually. But 21 kids have been killed in New York City due to street violence and drive-bys so far this year. And this is the part that is interesting to me, and I would love your take on it. NYC has the strictest gun laws. What are your thoughts on them having strict gun laws, but people are still going crazy out there?
That's true, and it's very true. But the states around them have very loose gun laws. You can run guns from Atlanta to New York in a matter of hours. Okay, I mean we saw that on New York Undercover back in the day.
Yeah,
the same thing with power. They can go over the state border. I mean, over the state line, and get whatever they want. So, and again, you got people that's in a very intense, tight situation. And I was watching Juice the other night, and I was watching the various apartments, and I was like, damn, I don't know nothing about that kind of lifestyle. I always lived in a house, but I damn sure I never even really visited people that lived in apartment, and I and to grow up like that is something different. Would be something different for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds like my life right there. Apartment.
Okay, and especially in not having a man around to really get no positive influence, dude. That makes a big difference, Doc. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you try to twist it up. It makes a big difference.
Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I hear or see women post on Facebook or Instagram or something. I don't need no man. I'm the mommy and the daddy. You don't know how hard it is to grow up without a father. You're looking at a dude who had to learn shit from the streets, from my friends, from outside sources, and you can't be the mommy and the daddy. I'm sorry. All due respect to the women out there.
in most cases, the streets is dumb as shit. You got the blind leading the blind. Technically, I mean legally, literally, you have the blind leading the blind. I mean, you got people that's telling people to do shit that they on probation for, or they got this false sense of machismo that requires you to do some shit to risk your freedom or your life to prove to a bunch of other cats they ain't gonna do a damn thing to help your ass once you get in trouble. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
All that old come roll with me to go handle some business. You just took your damn. All you did was took your witness. You just took your witness. The person's going to testify to your, especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And the DA start talking about giving cats basketball scores, or better, worse than that, NBA All-Star Weekend basketball scores, regular basketball scores. And you know damn well they finna start talking. You talking about I can get probation? I ain't got to do this 135 years. Come on, man, dude. And even to expect somebody to do that, especially if it was your problem, he would help you with. Okay, if it wasn't his problem, you just hey man, come on, roll with me right quick. And that's the part. And that's the part that I experienced. I heard a lot about when I was teaching some of these classes. Man, a lot of these guys said, man, I was just rolling with the homies. And next thing I know, niggas stuck a gun out the damn window, start shooting. Okay, yeah. You know, and he missed the person he was shooting at. Bullet went through the window, killed the cashier. We all got a case now. Okay, you don't even have to have you don't have to do anything. All you gotta do is be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why I tell my son, man, be careful who you roll with, man.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, any of my friends listening to this show right now, if you pull that shit on me, I'm telling on everybody. Everybody can get it.
Look, I remember when I was one of my partners, Stone Gangster, and he asked me to take him to get him a pastrami sandwich. I was one of the few cats that had a car. I was a non-gangster, but I had a car. The homie, we go down to El Segundo. We go to Steve Burgers. If anybody knows anybody El Segundo, Steve was been on Normandy and El Segundo forever. We get to pastrami's. I'm low riding. He's in the back seat, and the highway patrol swooped up on us. Okay, and he said, man, I hate to tell you this, but I got a gun on me. I'm like, shit. He says, look here, don't worry about it. If we get busted, I'm gonna take it. It's my gun. I'm gonna take it. Okay, that don't happen no more, man. That don't happen like it used to, man. My boy. He took it, and he didn't get caught with the gun. He was in the back seat. They asked for my ID. They didn't trip on us. They didn't make us get out the car and do a bunch of dumb shit. But he told me, hey man, I got a gun on me, and don't worry if I get caught with it, it's mine. And I had to respect it for that, man. But that ain't the case no more, man.
Yeah, man. Certain people I can't hang out with because I know they're packing. I love them to death. But you take your car, I'll take mine. I'll meet you there.
Dude, if I see you grabbing your gun, we finna go out. Negro, we're not going. Not going. Why? Oh, expected some problems? Come on, man.
Oh, I know niggas that take their gun to church, dog. I'm like, really, man?
See? Now, either you have you're very insecure, or you some cats do that trying to look tougher than normal. Okay,
that too.
Some guys want to be, they want you to see he got a gun, but if cops see him, he got it ain't my gun. Anyway. Let's move on. Shit.
Yeah, let's move on. I would love your thoughts on this, especially coming from an independent background. But Boosie, who is a popular rapper, he's becoming such a mogul. I feel like one day he'll be a mogul. Very popular down south rapper. He just released a movie, and it looks really good. From the trailer, I haven't seen it, but the trailer looks really good, actually. He released it independently through his own website. Well, he's mad because way more people are downloading it illegally and watching it on, websites and YouTube and things like that than are actually paying for it. So he said something, and I quote, Martin Luther King would be pissed off right now to see all y'all NFs not supporting Black excellence and buying my movie, but going to YouTube and other websites making the white man rich. What are your thoughts on that?
That's one of the pitfalls of technology. Okay. I haven't bought a record in God knows how long. If I want something, I go to YouTube, download it, convert it, and put it on my damn flash drive. Unfortunately, maybe he should have went through another platform. I understand staying independent, get all the money, but as an independent, you get all the headaches too. It should be a way. Why did it get on YouTube? Why is it even on YouTube in the first place?
Well, the thing is, certain movies can get on YouTube, but if YouTube catches it, they'll delete it within 24 hours, and then they'll just keep reposting it until YouTube deletes their channel.
Okay, so
yeah,
that sounds like he got a YouTube problem more than anything. And even that though, if you're because
there's so many sites. There's a ton of sites out there to get downloaded illegal movies.
Yeah, that's one of the pitfalls of technology right now. They found ways to deliver they found so many ways to deliver content. They can't stop it.
Yeah,
they can't stop it. I mean, I used to deal with the boxes when it first came out. I used to work with the boxes. You can get any movie, period. So you can get a Tom Cruise movie or a Denzel Washington movie. Why can't they get yours? I know that's a very disappointing situation, especially when you spend your hard-earned money to make this thing and you can't make a dime off of it because everybody bootlegging it. But I'm quite sure, as anybody else is pretty much from the hood, you bought bootleg movies. Now you know how that shit feels. We all
back in the day he bought hella bootleg movies. So
we all bought them. So now you mad because now it's sticking you in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you was bootlegging all the other shit and whatever the case may be. You wasn't mad. It was just part, that was something you did. But now that it's happening, you're mad at something. Rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
How big was bootlegging back in your day, and how did they do it? Explain how they did it.
Bootlegging of what? Records or music?
Records, tapes. I know I used to buy stuff at the swap meet that was obviously bootlegged.
12 inches were kind of hard to bootleg. They weren't as easy. Well, put it this way here. If a company was small enough and they had a hot enough record, you could bootleg anything. Okay, you had to make a fake master. If the record was clean, get a clean copy, record it, put it on the 1-inch tape, take it out and get the lacquers made, and you can bootleg it like that if you wanted to. My bootleg experience started with 8-tracks. 8-tracks were hard. I mean, my first Richard Pryor album was on 8-track. You buy 3 of them for $5. Okay, my whole low rider collection. I don't think I had one CD. 8-track in my car. 12 inches, cassettes. Again, anything with tape on it, tape is easy to duplicate, and you found them all. Bootleg cassettes. We buy them because I buy it to make it my damn. It took a little more time to make a 12-inch and also a CD. CDs has become more available or more bootleggable until the CD-ROM came out, and that's when they were able to take him and make him right here in your house. You didn't have to get a glass master like that. But before they had to get a glass master and all this other stuff, to get a glass master was $900. Then they came up with the CD-ROM, the CD. That changed the game completely. Everybody was bootlegging.
Damn, dude. It was much harder though back then, right?
Harder with the 12 inches and the 45s. Yeah, 8-tracks, no problem. Cassettes, no problem.
Yeah, cassettes. That's when I did it. Back when we would record off the radio.
You wear somebody's ass out in the cassette business. Because you could get a. They was back then. They sold dual cassettes, and all you had to do was high speed, a 20-minute cassette done in 10 minutes. Shit. Me and Unknown had to be them damn thing. We went to Radio Shack and bought about 3 of them things and made duplicators in the studio. Don't tell nobody else I told y'all that.
Miami 808 has an interesting question, and I don't know if I know anything about this, which is why I love this show. What's up, Lonzo? Did you get paid by Candy Flip for their Red Hills Road song sample?
Who?
Huh?
Candy Flip?
Miami 808. Yeah. He says, what's up, Lonzo? Did you get paid by Candy Flip for their Red Hills Road song sample? Somebody using your shit you don't know, maybe.
I know. What, Red Hills song sample?
Yeah, I'll look it up. Red Hills. Red Hills is one word, Redhills. and then Road, R-O-A-D.
You want to look it up right? A sample juice? Oh shit! Was it a hit?
He's like, if they ain't sell shit, I don't want it.
You know, and that's one thing. If it's a hit record and they didn't call me yet, they in trouble. But if it's not a hit, it could be a pain in the ass for me.
He said, look it up on YouTube. We'll definitely have to check that out.
Okay. Back in '90. Yeah, that's that. It must not have been a big hit at all.
Yeah, it would have been on your radar, I'm sure.
Red Hill song. Okay. Candy Flip. You make a note of that right quick.
Yeah, please do. All right, let's see. We have a bunch of questions from the past couple of weeks, so let's get into these as well, and we'll incorporate some of the stuff I have on my end. Let's see. Take away Dre. Zen Master says, take away Dre. Who is the best West Coast producer?
DJ Quick.
No, he said take away. He said besides them.
Dre and Quick?
Yeah.
Battle Cat.
Battle Cat. That's a good one. Did you ever work with Battle Cat?
Hell yeah, I discovered Battle Cat.
Wait. Rewind. Let's talk about that. Because I don't think we've ever talked about Battle Cat. Very influential producer. You discovered Battle Cat.
Battle Cat was 17 years old when Dre and Yella of them left the Class Wrecking Crew. And I needed a DJ. And he was a young cat. Had no turntables. It had no drum machine. And I think Richie Rich turned me on the Battle Cat. Him and Battle Cat to this day. So Richie Rich told me of the Dream Team, joined the World Class Wrecking Crew, and Battle Cat joined Wrecking Crew, and we went on tour to turn off the lights. When he came back, I hooked him up with a song called DJ. It was his first 12-inch single called DJ in Effect. He recorded it here in the studio. I put it out on Crew Cut Records, and it was all instrumental and scratching. That's my Battle Cat.
Man, other people are saying Superfly. I agree. Superfly's dope. Gas is definitely one of the best. Cadillac wants to know: have you been watching drama with Black or Big U?
I watched some of it, man. I don't too much care for it. I mean, I just
it's like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. I don't do soap operas. It's like it's too much going back and forth over basically nothing. I really ain't got. I don't really pay no attention.
Yeah. Let's see what do we got. The real Aaron Collins says, have you ever done anything with the dog pound with the Eastsiders?
No, I have not. I met Corrupt and Daz and Passage. Don't really know them. Again, they're a little younger than me, and the Eastsiders. Neither one of them. I'm looking to interview my man from the Eastsiders. Big A supposed to interview Dog Pound. That's what I'm waiting for. Either one of them. Corrupt or Daz. Either one of them.
Dude, that's gonna be huge. What are your thoughts on Drake, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige perform that halftime show?
I think it should be interesting. That should be interesting. I mean, it's probably gonna be one of the dopest shows they had.
Yeah.
If Dre is a music director, put it all together, so it should be real good.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. Where do you rate Eminem on pop wise, positive systems? Where do you rate
who?
Where do you rate Eminem?
Eminem is one of the greats, man. He's right. He's a great writer. He has a great delivery. Very creative. His voice can use some more bass in it. Other than that, it is what it is. Doc. And he comes from a different angle. I mean, one thing about him, you ain't gonna confuse him with nobody else.
Right.
Delivery, his rhyming skills, with nobody else. I think he's definitely in the top 10. What is he the greatest? I ain't gonna give him that, but he's definitely a top 10.
Top 10. Of all the thousands of rappers that made that, it's honored just to be the top 10.
And that top 10 will vary based on who you ask. So it's like it's all based on personal taste. So it's no right or wrong way to say that. Just put that together.
Speaking of give your Compton's Mount Rushmore?
My Compton's Mount Rushmore. Dre, Quick, Kendrick, King T, and how many? Kendrick, Dre, Quick, Kendrick, and I'm gonna have to say, man, just from a nostalgic standpoint, Master Spade.
Okay.
Okay, because he started all that street shit. He started all that street shit. Okay? So, and I always got to represent the old school. You cannot take away. You won't have a Dre if you ain't got Miss Master Spade putting something together that's totally. You ain't got Toddy T. Toddy T would tell you, him Mix Master Spade inspired him. So it is what it is.
Yeah, if you think about it, Master Spade was way back. I'm Mix Master Spade, and I'm
come on, man. Oh, championship today.
Who sang on that? Who Battleram?
Battleram?
Who sang on that?
I don't know.
Was that Toddy T singing the hook?
Oh yeah, Battleram. Yeah, that was Toddy T. You can't stop it, baby. That was Toddy T the whole way.
Okay.
Yep.
God, man, such good times. Let's see. Hold on 1 second here. I just had a question for you. I would love your take on this, Lonzo. Omaha, Nebraska agents recently arrested 144 known gang members in a sweep to try to curb some of the gang violence in their city. Omaha, Nebraska, 144 gang members off the street, just like that.
Shit. If they'd have waited a couple more months, wasn't nobody gonna be outside. It get cold as hell in Omaha, Nebraska, man. What do you actually do? How do I feel about that?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to be doing more of this across the country?
You know what I tell you before. Biden got boots on. Okay, Biden got boots on, and at some point in time, and here's the part about this: what's going on? Youngsters are so out of control in some areas. Fuck your civil rights. We're gonna shut this shit down, and we'll fix it later on. Okay, what I'm saying sounds totally up. Okay, they're gonna y'all doing so much. Fuck your civil rights. Sue me later. We'll figure it out later. Okay, but and that was basically what happened in the '90s, man. It was so much going on. They passed all kind of quick laws to get cats off the street, the gang injunction, all kind of shit, and they knew they was gonna get. They shut shit down. They got enough cats off the street to shut shit down and calm shit down. So by the time they won the lawsuit, it wasn't that bad no more. You know, and I dude, and you talking about America, okay? And please, as long as they shooting black folks, and let somebody else from another situation get hit or get killed in this mayhem. Gonna be a whole different situation, folks. Gonna be a whole different situation.
Yeah, trip on this. You know this that LA has been on fire with the violence in the inner cities, obviously. Well, two people and literally two separate incidents on Melrose Avenue where people were robbed at gunpoint for their jewelry and things like that. Oh, now it's a big issue. Now the cops are patrolling that area. Now it's a problem.
What I just say? I just said that as soon as that spills into another neighborhood, like a quiet area like Larchmont. We ever been to Larchmont? Larchmont look like Mayberry. Larchmont with LARCHMOUNT. Larchmont looks like Mayberry. People outside eating lunch on the sidewalk. They've been doing this for the pandemic. If here's the part, man, that people really don't. Some cats don't really understand. When you go outside of the hood, people live a whole different lifestyle. Sitting outside on the beach side restaurant, outside by the little gates or whatever by the beach, that's common practice. That's pre-pandemic and post-pandemic because they've been doing it forever. Sidewalk cafes, you go down up in what's that street? And she used to always go where they got the strawberry sandwiches. And over there in little Ethiopia. Okay, and that's it's all type of outdoor. Go to Pasadena, man. It's a whole different city. And when you come down there with that bullshit and disturb that vibe, you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go. And because the people that whose vibe you disturbed, they go on. They vote. They got money to back campaigns. They come to city council meetings, and damn sure gonna snitch. Okay, you call the city you want. They gonna be in court to testify. Your ass did it. Okay, his ass. So all that old what we getting away with? Nope. What we allow in the hood ain't the same thing, folks. Ain't the same thing. Okay. And I ain't nobody so bad. Look, nobody think some of this shit. All of it, tell you, because all of us getting old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kenny Kirk asks, when was the moment Lonzo knew Dre and Easy was gonna really blow up?
I saw him on MTV. The MTV, I think it was MTV or with Fab Five Freddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Take me back to that time.
That was a big move. Back then, I think it was Yo MTV Raps or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Yo MTV Raps?
Yeah, with Fab Five Freddy, right? You talking about that one?
Yeah, started with Fab Five Freddy. They was riding through the truck in Compton. They had on the back of the truck.
Yep.
Said, yeah, that was a strong move. Like Easy had on his had a bulletproof vest on. They was riding through the hood with a truck, the back of a big truck, just waving at people and pointing out different things. That was a major move. And then right behind that, when the FBI sent him the letter, that took him to another stratosphere.
Mm. Yeah, that was a good time. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. There was a lot of good hip hop shows back then. D Brown had a Pump It Up.
D Barnes, yeah, she did.
D Barnes. Let's see, D Brown, my bad. D Barnes, yeah.
UMTV Raps, the Cribs, Cribs, which is what's shit.
Bullshit. Nobody lived in those houses. You know that, right? Have you seen the one with Yee twins?
Yeah, I just watched their story on YouTube.
Yeah, this nigga pointing at boats and shit.
They were faking their shit. Man, come on. And when you see the shit, some of the people, I think a couple of people I knew, I'm like, come on, nigga, don't live like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the primer. That was the primer for what we got over the last 20 years. Okay, you had to perpetrate your lifestyle in order to be bigger than what you are. But understand, check this out. I noticed this the other day. I was watching the videos on YouTube, and I noticed how everybody blows their lifestyle up. When they go on stage, they look real basic, look real normal. Okay, so what I mean by that is there's no showmanship when it comes to the stage. You fall off the stage, security guard will ask you for ID to get back on it. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because all the showmanship,
everybody's saying, yeah,
all the showmanship that you pay big money for, okay, the Beyonce type stuff, none of that is in hip hop that I've seen. I heard Drake had a pretty nice show, and Rihanna, but these are some of the bigger folks. But you got guys making big money, but they stand on stage, they hold their nuts, they got 20 homeboys on the stage, and it looks like a gang meeting with a microphone as opposed to a real concert, man.
I hate Lonzo. I hate when like 5 or 6 of them have a microphone and they're like, man, can you motherfuckers have a microphone, please?
Me and clientele to hire the DJ, my boy DJ Domino. We did a show out at MacArthur Park one time, about 4 or 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago now, and I didn't know who Domino was, and we were performing, and I asked everybody after. I come from a different generation, man. If you ain't standing in front of a microphone, why is your ass on stage? Stage, man. I don't want nobody. I'm the wrecking crew. I don't need nobody taking selfies of me with me on the. Get off my stage, man. And it just Domino was cutting and scratching, and then I noticed that because he was throwing me off because I wasn't used to him doing what he was doing. And then all of a sudden I looked around, man, and it was 10 to 15 cats on stage, and they wasn't pop locking a part of or a part of the show. Nah, man, that's what I do. My stage, man. No, me and three other guys. That's it. Or me and Klein. That's it. Everybody else, it looks tacky, man. It has no professionalism whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, if y'all some beautiful women, I have no problem with that.
And they got to be on beat. They can't be nowhere around the beat. They got to be on the beat. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's see. You know what? This is a good one right here. Because I'm a hip hop nerd. I know this from popular movies like Breaking. I had Boogaloo Shrimp on my show, and he did a whole segment on this. Lonzo, did you ever DJ or perform at the Radiotron in the 80s? And just to correct you, Miami 808, it was just called the Radio. Radiotron was what it was called in the movie.
You know what? You're right and you're wrong.
Okay, give it to me.
It started off as being radio, and then it got shut down and came back as Radiotron.
Gotcha.
And that was one of the big problems because they were talking about in the movie, they were talking about radio, but they called it Radiotron.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the LA hip hop debates that my boy Jazzy D could probably tell you more about. That was his stomping grounds. No, I didn't perform at Radiotron or Radio because they were my competition for Eve After Dark. They both opened at the same time.
Mm.
We were on the south side of town. They were on the north side of town. And I went through there and checked it out. It was a bad night for them, but it wasn't like Eve After Dark. Radiotron was a hip hop spot with graffiti on the walls and stuff like that. Eve After Dark was a club. You know, it was like a club. We had booths and tables and chairs and carpet and shit like that. So it was, but I never performed. I did go by there and check it out.
Okay. Man, we got some great questions, and I have about 20 more minutes, Lonzo, and then I got to hop off because I have another call that I got to get on, but I would love to get these couple of questions in. This one first, Scotty D. Spencer, All in the Same Gang, West Coast All-Stars. What do you remember about that?
Everybody I knew was except for me. Except for me. Everybody was in that. I remember D. Barnes, Rose. They lived in my house. I mean, Drain them was in it. Tone Low, everybody was in it. I mean, it was a big show of force that was technically the opposite of what they did in New York.
Fight the power, or not fight the power. Blood, self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction.
I mean, here we are. That was back in the 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, 89, I think.
Because motherfuckers forgot all about that shit.
Yeah, that was the shit, actually. Listen to Self-Destruction. Everybody need to listen to Self-Destruction. If you have it, that's a great fucking song.
Yeah. It was like a hip hop version of We Are the World. Everybody doing it. Everybody doing their thing. Whatever they do.
Damn. Oh, it was such a good time. Speaking of All in the Same Gang, did you ever have any relationship with Michael Concepcion?
Know him very well.
Okay. Talk to us about him.
Mike, if you look at my book, N.W.A, Not Without Alonzo, the first person I think in my book is Michael Concepcion.
Why is that? Oh, talk to us.
Back to the early 70s, man. He went to Washington. I went to Centennial, and when I was a young hustler, I used to sell illegally removed radios. Okay, I slung radios. I'd buy them in Compton for $20 and flip them over in LA for $40. And Mike was one of my customers. I had a '64 Chevy. Mike loved my car, wanted to buy it from me. I mean, he was always cool with me. He never tripped on me. He knew where I was from. And as we got older, we'd always see each other out in the streets. And I never worked for him as a DJ, but he would always be at the dances, and we had a familiarity. In fact, it was funny, man. I was telling a buddy of mine, every woman I've ever had, Mike hit on them at the mall or something. He didn't know who they were, and I'd get my girl would call me. Guess who hit on me at the mall? Who? Michael Concepcion. God damn! I mean, it was like that. I mean, I would see Mike on the street. Mike literally, I would say, forced me, but sweated me to write my book. Every time I see Mike, Lonzo, when you write that book,
oh wow,
right, fucking up. I mean, that's how we roll. Lonzo, writing that book. Because if you're coming down Crenshaw and you see a car, any kind of car that would have a convertible top, it was probably a Mike. Mike's one of Mike's car. Mike would cut a 4-door. He would cut the top off of a 4-door to make a convertible. Notorious for that. And I'd pull up to him at the JB, and he'd always jam me up. Hey man, when you writing that book, you bullshit, Alzo, and that's how we did it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know him from a different standpoint, but I had Money B on my show a year or so back from Digital Underground, and he said that Mike was no joke in the street, and he was very well respected. And he said basically he didn't ask the rappers to be in that "We're All on the Same Gang" song. He pretty much convinced them that it was a good idea for them to be in it for their own good.
Mike has that kind of influence. Okay, he has that kind of influence. You know, he's one of the cats that I don't know nobody he ever had a problem with, but nobody ever had a problem with him. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Mike is old as I am. Okay, and he's been doing what he's been doing as long as I've known him. I knew Mike before he had his accident, before he got shot. Okay, that's how far back we go. Most cats never knew him like that. I know him when he was dancing at parties and shit. I mean, that's how far we go back. And, he's always been a no nonsense kind of. He laughs and joke with you, but you don't want to get on that side.
Yeah, he put together a very iconic song, and shout out to Mike Concepcion. This is one we've talked about in the past. It's been a little while, but since they're asking, let's give them a little story, and we have a story behind it. Matt Tree says, back in the late 80s, early 90s, every rap concert was in the riot, popping off for shooting. The Fresh Fest in Long Beach, 1988. I know you're hearing some rumblings in the street about that one.
Man, look. That was before hip hop. People hadn't realized the venues had not realized how big a gang problem that they had in the streets. And hip hop was so new, nobody knew really what it was. Okay, they was booking shows left and right, and in some cases they weren't talking to local police or the local community or whatever the case may be, and they would book a show like the Fresh Fest.
Yeah, I think it was the Fresh Fest. It was one of the concerts. Yeah. Houdini, Run DMC.
Yeah, at the Long Beach Convention Center, Long Beach Arena, and which means you got a home front of various Long Beach gangs, and you're gonna try and mix anybody else who come to the show in Long Beach or a hip hop show. And Long Beach Sports Arena holds about 16,000 people. Okay, so you need a nice diverse crowd to make your money. You won't get it all from Long Beach. Okay, so you asking for Compton, you asking for Paramount, you asking for Carson, you asking for Latinos, you asking for blacks, you asking for everybody. And at that time, nobody understood the real power of hip hop because it was still very new, and also they didn't realize how big the gang problem really was in the city because they wouldn't have booked that show.
Yeah,
never booked that show. Promoter.
And did you mention in the past that you heard rumblings in the street or something that convinced you not to go or something?
Yeah, I was shit. They told me where I was at. Dude, look here. Check this out. Long Beach Sports has been around forever. You hear about a lot of R&B shows at Long Beach Sports Arena. You don't hear about a lot of black shows at the Sports Arena. You might hear them at the Terrace, whole different venue, but Long Beach Sports Arena has been around longer, just as long. Well, back in the day when they had the LA Sports Arena, and you may have heard some funk stuff going down, but even then, Long Beach has always had a no nonsense reputation, and I don't know how that promoter or how the company got past the police and the city council. They did, and it bit them all in the ass.
Yeah, I had to. I was a promoter, very small time, nowhere near what you were doing, but you had to, realize that, okay, maybe you shouldn't put this rapper on the bill because he's a blood and you have this Crip here. And I had one situation, realized my mistake, never happened again.
Well, here it is now. It used to be a time when they would book so-called jazz festivals every year. Most jazz festivals are actually R&B and rap festivals in disguise. Well, the one problem that I found out the hard way in today's social media world, that the insurance companies monitor your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your social media page. They can monitor your right. So if you put somebody on the show to draw a name and they got their name on that list, or they consultants come in and say, "Oh, you just booked Snoop Dogg at the Gardena Jazz Festival. We're not insuring it." Okay.
Mm.
I mean, I'm using it as an example. Don't y'all say I said Snoop ain't come to Gardena. But if sometimes I got some assholes who've been trolling me lately. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Oh, really? Okay.
Be very careful what I'm saying, because I got an asshole or two that likes to troll me and try to pick everything I say. And no, man, and I don't see him on the air. I never saw him on the screen, but he sits back and fucks with me all week long like a rat in my shoe. Anyway, yeah, because the social media is being monitored now by the insurance companies, they have a much better idea what's going on, so you can't pull the wool over their eyes like you used to.
Mm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But shit, I want to hear about this asshole trolling, man, because I see a lot of people talking shit, and that just means you're doing something right.
Huh?
That just means you're doing something right.
You know what, dude? I just get tired. I mean, I can tell he's young, okay, because he don't really know what he's talking about. I ain't gonna call this name. I ain't gonna give him no credit like that. But it just I respond to people. I respond if I'm not doing anything particular, I'll go to my YouTube channel or I get a notification. I respond to people, and I try to respond to people in an informative manner.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, you start saying, "Oh, you an asshole. You just want to fuck with somebody. You want some 69 bullshit, okay?" And sometimes I'll step outside my own character and give them what they want, call them something stupid or something like that, something real silly, and they still come back. Some people just like that for punishment, man.
That's what they need, and their biggest reward is you actually responding back to them. That's the thing I've heard.
Yeah, and at one time I didn't respond to them. Sometimes I just do it just because I just want to piss their asses off. Y'all petty too, goddammit.
Well, shit, man, that just means you're doing something right, dude. What do you got coming up on Thursday? I hate to jump off the call soon, but
I'm going to interview Curtis Jackson, Curtis Young, Dr. Dre's son.
Oh man, that's gonna be dope, yo.
Also, folks, I'm shooting my first show for the Homegrown Media Network. If you haven't downloaded the channel yet, please download the channel. It's on Roku. You're gonna see a lot of the same shows here that me and Dusty are doing, but trust me, the next week or two, I'll be adding some new shows. I have a new show I'm doing called the Release Party, and the Release Party primarily is a show that's going to combine music videos with a conversation. All right, now I'm gonna host the show myself. I'm gonna start hosting it myself like I always do. But I'm gonna play your video. We're gonna sit down and have a conversation about you and your career, where you're from, how you do what you do, give me your social media stuff, and this way, as an artist, you have a chance to cultivate a fan base. Conversation, people talk to you. That's how they start liking you, and they may check your music out because they like you. You keep sending people links. People don't understand links. They don't know who the hell you are. Why should I look at your link? So I'm giving you a chance to people to get a chance to meet you as an artist. Check out your music, see what you're talking about. And one thing about this, it goes worldwide, folks. It goes worldwide. This is not just a situation. Yeah, it's gonna be an artist situation. It's $150 for video and a conversation, and you'll be on the channel for 30 days. For 30 days, folks. So you can tell all your folks, hey, you was on the check out my release party, interview with Lonzo, blah 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 blah. So let's blow this up. I want to. Yeah. I got some hot acts already, but they all out of time. I don't care where you're from. But when I'm looking for somebody in LA, I went out Saturday night to do some promoting, and I ran across a couple of dope ass acts at a poetry spot, at a spoken word spot, man. So yeah, I'm looking for some new shit, and
I'll send some people your way. I'll make sure I send some people your way.
Got to be real though. Check out the house party, y'all. It's gonna be live on. It's gonna be on Roku, Homegrown Media Network. Sit down, kick it with your boy Lonzo. Play your video. You have a video you performing. Send me the video. We're talking about what you do, folks. All right, Dusty. I know you got to go, man. Sorry about the delay earlier.
All good, man. Always a pleasure, my man. Let me give a quick shout out. To everybody in the comment section. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Matt Reese, Art Chavez, William 044, Martin Cozy, Deuce Times. I'll get to your questions next week. I promised I'll copy and paste it amongst my notes here. We'll get to them next week for sure. DJ Wick, American Negro, man, a lot of these. Scotty D. Spencer, appreciate you guys. Miami 808. You guys, it's all love, man. Appreciate every one of you that tunes in. Hit that like button if you guys don't mind. If you're in the building right now, before we go anywhere, hit that like button, please. It really helps us out. It helps the channel out, and that's all we ask. You hit that like button before you exit the building. It really helps us out. Truly appreciate it.
Also, don't forget y'all download the Homegrown Media Network on Roku. Go to channel search, add channel, Homegrown Media Network. Homegrown is 2 words, folks. In the meantime, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and my man Dusty Vision. Like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks. You are live with the Godfather and the Dusty One. See y'all next week. All right, peace.